Is it back? Are we back? Battlefield 6 has got gamers losing their minds. I can't remember the last time I saw hype like this for a game. A multiplayer shooter bringing the hype. Am I in 2007? Midnight release with the boys, all-nighters, energy drinks and snacks. Those were the days. But there are still some things that we have to address with this game. Let's talk about it. Battlefield 6 launched to massive success, and I mean massive. 747,000 players on release day. That's insane! For reference, Battlefield 2042 released to 100,000 players on launch day. That is one hell of a boost in players for a sequel. And don't forget, there will be a bunch of players on PC that use the EA app or the Epic Games. No one's using the Epic Games Store. No one. But the number on PC could be well over 1 million. And if that's the number on PC, it's safe to say the number on consoles is higher than that. So they're already looking at over 50 million in sales. You could possibly say they're pushing 100 million. We rolling in money tonight, boys. I think this game could easily break the 10 million mark. Easily. I'd be very surprised if it didn't. Players are having to wait just to get on the servers. But how? How did Battlefield get a 600,000 player increase on Steam? How did they get the internet, cram them into a hype train, and set the destination to the glazing city of Glazington? There's a lot of knee pads in that place. Well, that was weird. They just put me on some train and gave me some knee pads. It's beautiful. Now, Battlefield's hype started with the leaks, I believe. There were videos being leaked on the internet of buildings collapsing, the overall tone looking like a warfare shooter instead of a Fortnite wannabe. I'm looking at you, COD. The videos were going viral and people started asking, are we back? We might be back. And then the trailer dropped, confirming that. Tanks shooting walls down, dragging your boy back, healing him as gunfire is all around you. Just chaos all over the battlefield. Using the environments to your advantage. Destruction, destruction,
And more destruction.
jets, helicopters. Everything that made Battlefield the successful franchise it is was here to be seen in this trailer. With the top comments in the trailer being, now that's the Battlefield I remember. Please, no non-military skins and nonsense. Keep it like this and it will be what many have wanted for years. Now you know you're doing something right with comments like that. And loads of comments echoed that exact same sentiment. No nonsense, just classic warfare gameplay. And DICE answered, with a Battlefield 6 developer saying, I don't think it needs Nicki Minaj. Let's keep it real. Keep it grounded. Oh my god! Someone in the industry finally said it! Someone check on COD. They just got bodied. And they didn't stop there. They dropped another trailer poking fun at celebrity skins. My goodness, that's gotta sting. Now, I do think the shots being taken at COD are helping the hype of this game because COD is being laughed at this year. The trailer was awful. The beta was just out. Was it this week? Barely anyone was talking about it. The only thing I saw was people saying Activision must be desperate if they're taking out skill-based matchmaking. Wow, it only took them 5 years. At the end of the day, no one wants Black Ops 7. The people are desperate for a classic military shooter, just all-out warfare. And there's this new shiny thing over here. We're Call of Duty. We're too big to fail. Yeah, let me know how that goes for you. For the first time ever, a Battlefield game might outsell a Call of Duty game. Because I have never seen a COD game get this much of a negative reaction. And that massive letdown and lazy approach from Call of Duty has just pushed players to Battlefield. And all DICE did was give the Battlefield players what they want. Who knew that if you give players what they ask for, they'll be happy? Who knew? That's kind of crazy. Time and time again, we see studios not listen to fans, think they know better, make the games feel like Fortnite clones and not the games we fell in love with the series for. And then they lazily copy and paste the same things over from previous games. What could possibly go wrong? And all of that just results in players being shafted and either returning to the old games in the series, as we do see often with COD, with players creating their own servers to play classic COD games, or players will move on to other games that do give them what they want. And COD and Battlefield is a great example of that. And I love the competition here, by the way. There's none of this. Well, COD's great. They're doing great things over there, and people should be able to appreciate both games.
Nah, f that. Instead we get this.
Look at those losers. What you gonna name your newest map? Nicki Minaj's mansion? Losers. I love it. The industry needs more of it because competition drives success. You need to outperform your competition. You can't be beaten. You gotta keep stepping up your game. None of this happy, clappy, soft mindsets. You could also say with EA being bought, the studios are now under more pressure to perform. But I would say EA are pretty ruthless anyway when it comes down to shutting studios. I mean, look at the Black Panther game after 4 years in development. God damn, that game must have sucked. They shut down Titanfall, and Titanfall's had a cult following for years. And maybe DICE was feeling that pressure. An article from Polygon, What the EA Deal Could Mean for BioWare, The Sims, and More, tells us, the experts seem to agree that the future of DICE depends on Battlefield 6. Freedom Capital Markets believes EA is treating Battlefield 6 as an experiment in breaking out of its sports-heavy model, an attempt at reaching audience segments it hasn't been able to court for years. Cole says EA's evaluation of its future will likely take into account how the company feels about competing with Call of Duty going forward and whether Battlefield 6 gains some momentum in that direction. If EA doesn't see a future for Battlefield, Cole predicts DICE will likely be sold. Yeah, I think they're good now. But I would say since Battlefield 1, the series did struggle. Battlefield 5 felt half-baked on release, although it did get better, and Battlefield 42 was just bad. Bad decisions made, bad design, buggy. I think I only played one game of Battlefield 2042, and that was enough for me. It was just, but apparently it did get better, which, believe it or not, is a common trend for DICE lately. Battlefield 5, 2042, and also Battlefront 2 all got better after release. All of them came out with poor design choices and got better as time went on. Who can forget those loot boxes? No one, ever. We should always remember that. But it's such a weird mindset to have. It's fine, we'll fix it in post. It's lazy, it's arrogant, and EA are to blame as well, because they just rush the releases out. But less and less people are buying their games on release, so they are forced to make a good game on release. Crazy. And if they don't, EA's just waiting there. No pressure, DICE. No pressure. Pressure sucks when you're under it, but it does force you to be at your best. That's one of the reasons why I think they've been able to cook something up like Battlefield 6. Another reason could be that the dev team is basically all new. Most Battlefield 6 developers never worked on Battlefield games before. In the thread, the ex-employee stated that 98% of the people who worked on previous Battlefield games have since left EA. However, Risible, I don't know, I'd question the validity of this article now, clarified that this figure was a hyperbole rather than a definitive percentage, meant to emphasize the significant departure of senior leaders and veterans from the studio and franchise. This is just standard for the industry nowadays. They're all just hopping from one studio to the other. For example, Bungie is unrecognizable. So it works both ways. You can get it where new people come in and they have no idea what it is that makes these games so special and think they know better than the fans do. Or you get people in that do understand what makes these games special and they try their best to give the fans what they want. Actually, I don't want to make a game that the fans want. You know the fans who are fans because of the old games? Let's make something entirely new, and of course, we need to reference the modern day political climate. Of course! And from what we see of Battlefield 6, it looks like it's the latter. Especially when you see that players got to play the beta and they were happy. They were very happy. That weekend, all I saw in my feeds were Battlefield 6 clips, which was only boosted by that cheater going viral. So it really was just a case of that game being everywhere for weeks. So that sounds like the perfect storm for DICE and EA, right? Fans are happy, you're getting free marketing, the competition shot themselves in the foot. No, they blasted off both legs. Then something happened. A dev opened their mouth and talked. No! About a very sensitive subject. God damn it! I'm cool, I'm good, I'm calm. We were so close, I was almost going to buy it. It was right there. And this moron thought that the world needed to know his dumbass opinion. Brian J. Audette, thank you for blessing us with your words of wisdom. Some ideologies are so repugnant they don't deserve debate, and what Charlie Kirk engaged in was not in good faith. It was inflammatory rhetoric designed to foment the kind of violence that took his life. Spare us your centre-right pandering governor. Anyone else sick of the word rhetoric? I am. Now, he's not celebrating or encouraging political violence. He's saying that Charlie Kirk was encouraging political violence. God damn it! Which is stupid because he wasn't. And he also said this: if you haven't cancelled your Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN subscriptions yet, what are you waiting for? This is the quickest, easiest way we can signal to ABC, Disney, and Trump's next targets that there are market repercussions for fascism and we're not too lazy or afraid to engage them. I really hope he's not a writer because he doesn't write all that well. But I'm sorry, what about Jimmy Kimmel's firing has to do with fascism? What? He was being a dumbass and lied on TV. What? How stupid can you get? We're just making stuff up at this point. If you disagree with me, fascist. Oh, and lies are a good thing when it benefits my politics. Now, is this a Ghosts of Yote situation? Is the studio going mask off and revealing their activism? In the case of Ghosts of Yote, I think the dev posting that celebration of theirs was the straw that broke the camel's back. The lead actress was an Antifa supporter, they replaced the writers with Veilguard writers, and Jin was replaced. And that post was seriously unhinged. It was just sick. There was too many signs there to ignore what the studio has become, and that it's affecting their games. We don't care what their politics are, right, as long as it's not affecting the games, or if they're being morons online and declaring their hate boner for everyone that doesn't agree with them. How dare you think differently? Whereas Battlefield 6 showed no traces of activism, they're going back to their roots. They're putting players first, no predatory monetization as of yet. They are doing battle passes, which I do think is weird for a game you pay full price for. What in God's name is that about? Stop it! It was just this one guy giving his dumbass opinion online, which was so stupid. And that's all I think it is. It's stupid. It's not a celebration. He's not encouraging political violence. He's just an idiot. There was also the fact that the Steam forums were removing any discussion about this. I don't know how these Steam forums work or who EA has moderating it for them, but it doesn't surprise me coming from EA. It's EA. Should he have been fired? I don't know. Definitely could have been. It's not as cut and dry as the Ghosts of Yote one, in my opinion. I do think devs need to shut the f*** up. Now, neither DICE or EA said anything about this. I mean, EA are EA, they don't care. Their management sucks at the minute. The Saudis will probably want to get onto that as soon as possible. But as for DICE, there's not really anything they can do. He doesn't work for them. This guy works for a third-party studio who worked solely on the campaign, which according to that article we read, the third-party studios will likely be put in the chopping block for EA first after this takeover. So odds are he'll be gone soon anyways. But DICE really must have saw this and thought, so this guy comes in here, works on the part nobody cares about, and starts running his mouth?
I'll be back. I'm gonna beat his ass.
What I can say though is that his opinions have clearly not found their way into the game. They haven't infected the studio with activism and the game has sold really well. Though at some point this idiot will cost someone money, I promise you that. I completely understand everyone who chooses not to buy this game because of this one guy. But at the same time, this game is giving you everything you wanted them to do. No activist bullshit, and that dev had no part in making the part of the game that you're buying it for. Not part of DICE who made the multiplayer of the game. So I understand both sides. As for me, I really don't know. Oh, come on. Once, just once. Oh no, I'm sitting on the fence. Oh no. I think I'm gonna be sick. For real though, if that's what's stopping you from buying the game and you're desperate to buy it, go ahead and buy it. But if you're really not bothered about it, but it is also stopping you from buying the game, then yeah, I wouldn't bother. Like I said with Ghosts of Yote, I don't encourage people to buy or not to buy something. But if you did buy Ghosts of Yote, I am questioning that purchase. Regardless, this man's dumbass opinion did not affect the sales of the game whatsoever. And I do believe that's because they listened to the players and gave the players what they want. And I'm happy for the Battlefield fan base. Go ahead and play your game. And it's a message to all the other studios out there that this is the way. This is how you sell a game. You do what the fans ask for. It really is just that simple. Make a Battlefield game for Battlefield fans. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. Make a Halo game for Halo fans. Microsoft won't do that. They won't do that. Why did I even say that? That's stupid. But let me know what you think. Have you been pulling out your boys from falling buildings, giving them the res? Did you give it a pass because of what the dev said? Do you not care because you don't play Battlefield? Are you like me, trying desperately to find 1/10 of the happiness games used to give me? I joke. I found this game called Concubine. Peak happiness. I'll see you in the next one.